movement. So it's how expensive it feels. And with wedding films, a lot of the elements they would use on a film set, like the lighting setup and the steady cams and set designers, costume designers, all of that, you don't have any of that.
Well, actually it's already done.
It's already done.
Welcome to the last episode of
Part 4.
the series.
Yes.
Part 4.
Okay, so we started with color, and then we did the one that had Lala on the front page, which I can't remember what it was.
I have no idea.
Editing.
Editing.
Okay, so we can take that
Quite
from the top.
important
Quite
one.
important. So we started with color, and then we looked at the editing process, and then we spoke about music and sound last time. And today is what I think we can call production value, because that's what you keep on calling it. So I think, before we jump in, I wanted to ask you, because you're better at explaining this than I am, and what in a normal sense would production value actually mean in a video?
So production value, basically in layman's terms, is how expensive it feels, not how expensive it is. In a commercial sense, that would be lighting, Are they using a Steadicam, stuff like that?
Production value for us, it starts on the wedding day, like the way that we decide how do we film, are we using our gimbals, are we using handheld, what moments we're choosing to do stationary, what moments we're choosing to put movement into the frame. And handheld, I think, maybe just to also explain, that's what you would see in most movies. So it's just like a little, there's a person holding the camera, but also if you think about it, if you look at someone, none of us, or like very few of us, are like this. So we don't actually see the world standing still, right?
No,
we
don't.
see it with movement.
It does feel more natural if it actually has movement.
And I think, the way that we decide whether we're going to shoot handheld or whether we're using the stabilizer, it really depends on its intuition that we feel on the day, in terms of, are we shooting this entire wedding on a stabilizer, or are we taking it off the stabilizer and adding a bit more of a human element in it? And I think it even comes down to the way that the bride's dress looks, the way that the reception is set up. So if it's got the old money feel, then you'll definitely want a more stable look onto it. If it's more colorful and if it's more poppy, then you might want to put in more handheld movement. So it even goes down to, what does the venue look like and what is the aesthetic of the wedding? So even that, I think, gives you the initial intuition of, am I putting more handheld footage in this film, or am I going to put more stabilized footage in this film? Even if you take the story and the vibe out of it, even those elements already give you an idea of what this film should look like.
You always focus on the emotion that the handheld or the stable footage will give you.
Yeah.
I mostly focus on the fact that I don't want people to actually be taken out of the film at all,
ever.
where they not aware of the camera, because sometimes when the camera moves too much, you are completely aware that this is filmed.
There is still a line that you should not cross, because you don't want to be watching a film and it's all beautiful and stabilized, and then suddenly it looks like someone is like lost their footing. And like I have a couple of times, I might have fallen into a bush or two. It's not a wedding if I don't walk or fall into a bush. It's just part of the parcel.
You've luckily never fell into water.
Once,
it was
almost.
So close.
It was so close.
But you didn't.
I was just like, save the camera, save the camera. So that was so close.
That was.
Whether we're shooting handheld or whether we're shooting with a gimbal, and that also comes in with how the edit ultimately looks, is that what is happening in the frame. Number one is, what does the lighting look like in your frame? And number two is, what is actually happening in my frame? So it's not always necessary for movement. So if something important is happening, like for instance with the first look with Dad, the emotion is what's happening in your frame. You don't need additional movement in the frame, because what's happening in your scene is momentous enough, so you don't need to add in unnecessary movement, because what's happening is your most important moment. And I've said moment like 100 times now.
Because you need motivated movements.
Yes,
That is
motivated movements. I like
motivated movements.
So I think we do that all during the day. It's about motivated movement. And it's basically you making constant decisions. Like every second of a wedding day, you're making a decision about, what am I doing? Am I moving? Like, what is the significance of this moment? Am I just capturing it, or am I adding movement into it? So I think you constantly always thinking about what will add to the production value of this day. And with wedding films, a lot of the elements I think that they would use on a film set, like the lighting setup and the steady cams and set designers, costume designers, all of that, you don't have any of that.
Oh, actually it's already done.
It's already done.
Because the whole venue is completely made up. So set design is taken care of. Costume design is taken care of. Definitely.
Definitely.
Your favorite part. They just love running in,
dress. Yay.
seeing the dress.
My favorite.
What we need to handle is camera movement and lighting. Not all weddings have lighting designers. So we do have a lighting setup. It's quite minimal.
Yeah. The reason why we do a minimal setup is because our whole approach is where real things and authentic things happen on the day. We don't want to be invasive. You've spent all this time and all this effort thinking about, what do I want people to feel when they walk into my reception venue? I want them to feel welcome. I want it to feel warm. And you do that by candlelight and by bulbs and tea lights and, you know, all sorts of ambient lighting that gives you that cozy feeling. So we don't want to go and put 4 lights on the person speaking. Yes, it would probably look incredible, but it's going to take away from the entire feeling of the day. And it's also, I think for a lot of people, the speeches, it's quite it's stressful to make a speech in front of 100, 200 people.
Definitely.
So we don't want them to feel stressed out by a whole setup of lighting. It's one of the parts on the day where we can influence the production value of the look of the film. All of these little elements, like the way that the frames move, the light switch that is pulling your eye away from the bride that's in the center of the frame, it's just distracting. So we remove any elements that are distracting and we change camera movements to make the story more compelling. And then in post, we can also do a little bit in terms of, what does a camera movement feel like? There's a light switch there that is annoying. It's just distracting me. You will take out a pipe as your nemesis, because pipes are always blue. Oh, why are they blue?
Just make it green.
Just make it green so that it fits into the lawn. Venues, please make your pipes green. Anyway, objects that are distracting, which wouldn't have been there if you had a say over your set design, for instance, then the pipe wouldn't have been there, but we don't. So those are the types of things that we look at that can enhance the production value that we can't do on the day, that we can do in post. And you are the one responsible for all of that, because I don't even know how to do it.
Unfortunately, I am, but I do love it.
What do you do when it comes to post? So obviously, you know, we've gone through a whole process where, you know, the parts that I do, and then the video lands in your lap. So the stories together, the colors in, the music's in, then it lands in your lap. What do you actually do to up this production value?
First thing, the thing that I'm always excited about is actually watching the video, because this is the first time I see it with color.
Yes, I know, which makes the world of difference. It really does.
So I love that. Then I start critiquing it. And by critiquing it, yeah, I basically kind of just go, what could we have done better? And I start by looking at the camera movement. A lot of times you actually wish you just had it on a tripod, and in post you can put it on a tripod.
Yes.
We use After Effects to pinpoint a lot of points on the screen.
Which incidentally, I know how to open After Effects.
It took me quite a while.
And that is literally where my knowledge of After Effects dies. Yeah. I can open and close it.
So we use pinpoints to stabilize certain parts of the frame. That makes that it doesn't start swimming, because sometimes you get this kind of fishy, swimmy if you just use warp stabilizer. So you're trying to avoid that. And that also makes it easier to remove any objects that we want to later. Then I give it a watch through again, see if I'm actually happy with the way. Sometimes it actually was better when it was just more chaotic.
Yes.
And then we just kind
of leave it.
Go for chaotic.
This is a long part, and this is the reason why when I'm done with it, you don't get your video immediately, because there's still a lot that happens. That's like or maybe like 3/4.
Okay, 3/4, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's where you decide clip for clip. Do I need more movement in this clip? Do I need less movement in this clip? So that's essentially what you're trying to do, is you're setting the flow of the video and the feeling of each frame that you see.
If you're going from really chaotic and you're going straight into a speech,
It
which
sometimes
was
feels
on
a bit like,
tripod,
whoa, yeah.
that feels weird. But sometimes you want that chaos, so then we'll make the tripod move and kind of feel like it was handheld. After that, I kind of look for anything that distracts me.
Which
light
is usually
switches.
a lot. Light switches and pipes. It's like the bane of your
light switches and
existence.
pipes. We remove that. Then we go into flash removal.
Okay.
And this is the part that you always say, like, leave the flash because you actually want the flash. But
Sometimes I want the flash, yes.
And
also we don't mind, just to also put it out there, that we have zero issues with photographers using flash. It is
actually
something
love
that
it. Sometimes we want it.
Sometimes we will ask you to do it, so it's not something that like bothers us in the least, and it's also you need to get what you need to get, and it also sometimes we can use it as a place to cut, and especially when we're doing a bit more of an editorial shoot, it works with the flash because it gives you that like paparazzi feeling, so it's good. Like, we don't mind it at all.
What else do I do?
I don't know what else you do. You do camera movements, you do object removals, you do flash removals, and you do the motion blur.
Eye tracking is also a thing that I do, and I obsess with it. It doesn't matter on a cell phone screen because we viewing the entirety on a cell phone screen, but we all have big screens at home. Which
incidentally is where we would like you to watch your wedding video, by the way.
That is true. So on a big screen, and in movies especially, you don't want your head to turn from one spot to another spot. Point of interest kind of has to be on the same tracking spot the whole time. So let's say we have a subject and the subject is on the right-hand side of the screen. If they're moving to the left,
your next image, your next frame should be on the left.
And this is not something you can prepare for at all beforehand.
Not at all.
Unfortunately not. A lot of those elements won't be distracting on first look.
No.
When you see it for the first time, but these films aren't made to watch only one time.
No, definitely
They're
not.
made to
Hopefully not.
Be your favorite movie.
Ever.
And maybe on your third watch through, you kind of start realizing the light bulbs or the light switches, and now it becomes distracting.
Now it's like actually an issue. Now it distracts.
I want to remove all that. It all pulls you more into the story.
I think, ultimately, this is kind of a smaller part, and I think it's a part that really goes unnoticed, but it's something that if it was there, it would distract you. So the fact that you don't realize you're doing it is actually a good thing, but it is sad because there's a lot of work that goes into it, but it just puts the cherry on top for really making you experience the film on a different level than just, if we left all of that in there and if we didn't do all this technical things afterwards to lift the production value, your viewing experience would be different, but you will never know.
You'll never know because it's not there anymore.
Because it's not there anymore.
Doing a lot of work so no one will notice something is strange.
It is.
But it is worth it.
We know.
We know. I know it makes a huge improvement.
Yes, it does. I agree. And I know you spend a lot of time on it, and it's time well spent.
Do you feel that the camera actually does make a difference in the production value look at the end of the day?
Well, yes. I mean, today if somebody gave me a less expensive camera, it doesn't mean that I can't film your wedding. It's going to give it a different look. And it's giving me different low light capacity, and what I can do with the camera is less. Doesn't mean that it's not possible. The more expensive cameras just makes your job easier, and it gives you a better looking product at the end of the day.
So gear does matter?
Gear does matter. I mean, we're kidding ourselves if we say it doesn't.
We all gear junkies as well.
We all gear junkies. Well, I'm not. I don't care. It would be silly to say that gear does not matter, but it doesn't mean you cannot do something if you don't have the most expensive camera. You shouldn't be put off just because you don't have the most expensive camera, because that's not, I mean, if you listen to our entire series, the camera didn't even feature once. It just makes our jobs easier.
The final step, the cherry on top, just to finish everything off, is back to our sponsor, the answer.
Grain, which is so pretty.
Grain.
And it's really hard not to overuse it because it looks so awesome, and then sometimes you just want to like push it to the insane, but then it's like, okay, no, rein it back, rein it back.
The sad thing is that all the compression on the internet always removes your grain.
It does, yeah, so you'll see it if you watch it on your TV, but not on your smartphone.
Unfortunately not. And we've used a few different programs to do grain, but the answer is definitely the best.
And this
I
is something that's
absolutely
also to bring it back to our first episode. So grain is something that is innately in a film camera, but that's something that you add digitally to give it that film feel. But obviously it is digital, so that's why we've used all these different programs, because a lot of it just looks like something that you plop over the top and it doesn't feel like it's part of the image. And this is once again where enhancer, where it reads the entire image and it looks for where is it lighter and where is it darker. So the grain that it actually puts in your image is a lot more as if it was in the camera to begin with, instead of just being something that's like plopped over the top of an image.
Just makes every scene flow into each other better.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Because obviously with a wedding film, you're going from like day scenes to night scenes to day scenes to night scenes. So there's a lot of jumping around sometimes in the stories, which once again, you don't want it to remove you from the story. So it makes the transition from day to night or night to day just a little bit smoother.
You don't have anything, you don't have feeling in the film. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
According to me, you are the jam on this
I'm
project.
the jam on the PB&J.
Oh yeah.
Yay. I like being the jam. I really enjoy doing this because, you know, there's so many things, and you do this process like all the time for every wedding, and it's nice to actually talk about it and to hear out loud all the stuff that we do, and how it comes to see it all come together is actually quite cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. But for now,
we hope you have enjoyed our musings on storytelling and weddings, and we just enjoy doing them so much.
we love doing them. It is one of the biggest parts of our life, and I love those moments. You get to experience people's best day ever.
I know, and you get to experience it with them. I mean, how can you possibly be sad if you get to do that for a living?
It's the perfect job.
And it's the perfect job.
I just love it.
Cheers to having the perfect job.
On that note,
Cheers.
cheers.
I love you.
I love you too.